Welcome to the Sweat Shower. Sit back, grab a cold one, and enjoy. Church key in it tonight. Oh, shit. That's a little church key. Anyway, I'm sure you noticed that I'm sitting on the couch alone tonight. Well, tonight, Darkman is not here tonight. He's feeling a little bit under the weather. It's not coronavirus. He just is pregnant. So, let's get started. I lost my place. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't lose my place. Okay, so let's talk about the up-and-coming movie that I have written, and it is it's going pretty good. It is called The Pigeon River Slayer, and let's give us a little bit of content. The Pigeon River is a river that runs through Clintonville, and the Pigeon Lake feeds into it, and it runs through Clintonville off of Olin Park. So I incorporated it into the story. Let's do a little bit of backstory on the Pigeon River Slayer himself. His name is Riley Pootnoot. He was born on October 31st, 1993. He was born on a blood moon. His parents are Michael and May Pootnoot. Michael is the leader of a satanic cult called the Slasher Society, or the Slasher Club. And now he believes that the night that his son was born, he is going to be a prophet for Satan. So on the night that he was born, him and his wife and some of the members of the Slasher Club kidnapped a little girl, a 5-year-old girl, and they sacrificed her and fed her his blood. They're into a lot of sacrifices. So the Slasher Club was started by Mr. Pootnoot, Michael Pootnoot. He owns a lot of big businesses in the town of Clintonville. He owns a lot of logging companies. He owns a lot of things. He also runs a small diner in the town, the Clintonville Diner. Now, when Riley was born, on his 10th birthday, they decided to make him a full-fledged member. So there was a family that drove up here from Illinois. They were the Fielding family. They drove up here from Illinois, and they were on their way to Canada for vacation. They stopped at a charming little town in Wisconsin where was Clintonville, and they stopped, and Michael noticed them and decided that they were worthy of a sacrifice. So they all sat down for breakfast. They offered them complimentary orange juice. Well, they drugged the orange juice, and there was a family. They're a family of 4. So there's a husband, a wife, their 10-year-old son, and their 16-year-old daughter. So the family sits down, eats their meal, drinks their orange juice, and the 16-year-old daughter excuses herself to use the bathroom. When she comes back, she realizes that her family is knocked out, sleeping on the table, and she gets scared. And she decides to run away, where Michael grabs her, chloroforms her, knocks her out. They come to, they wake up in the basement, chained upside down, and they're freaking out. They don't know what to do, so the slashers come in, and they bring young Riley in, and they have them all trained up upside down, and one by one, they sacrifice them, slitting their throats, and they drink their blood. And that's how Riley becomes part of the Slasher Club. He becomes a full-fledged member. Years go on, and every year for Riley's birthday, the October 31st, the Halloween, there's always a blood moon, so they always offer a sacrifice. The slashers would kidnap people, random people, sometimes drifters or bikers or anybody that they thought that was worthy of a sacrifice, and they would sacrifice them because they're, assholes. So on Riley's 21st birthday, on the night, his father becomes very ill. Michael becomes very ill, and he dies. And he starts to pass away. And on a blood moon, they decide that he doesn't want to die that way. So he doesn't want to die old, and he doesn't want to die in his bed, so he decides to become a sacrifice. So Riley and the other members, they give him a worthy send-off, and they chop off his head, and they eat him. They chop him apart, and they eat him, consume his body, and he becomes one with them forever. So then Riley takes over the Slasher Society, or the Slasher Club, after that, and he becomes the full-fledged member. The other members of the Slasher Club believe that he is an actual prophet of Satan, and they'll believe and do whatever he says. This happens for the next 3 years. The townspeople, they're in on the fact that they're doing something wrong. They always know that there's something wrong. They can't really prove anything. They never have enough evidence to convict them of murder. They live in a compound that the Pigeon River runs through. They're always finding bodies and missing people, and the townspeople know that there's something wrong with them. Obviously. So this, up-and-coming young mayor named Mayor Fieldings, who happens to be a relative of the family, at that point, they think they just went missing, decides to put pressure on the Slasher Club and makes the taxes so unbelievably high that the Slasher Club can't pay their taxes on their compound. So they decide to kill him. And the other Slasher Club members think this is a little bit unorthodox because they're not going to do it on Riley's birthday. And they think that they've been doing it on Riley's birthday for so long, it's the only reason that they haven't been caught, and that they're calling to Satan. So they kidnap the mayor Fieldings. They kidnap him, and they take him to the compound. They kidnap his family, his two children, and his wife, and they put him in the basement, and they starve them. And they take turns. The Slasher Club takes turns under the orders of Riley, and they take turns beating his wife basically to death and starving them. And they kill the children right away, and they chop them up, and they beat his wife mercilessly in front of him, and they starve him basically to death, to the point he can't even move. And they slowly feed him the remains of his family. And they're not really nice people. And so when he is fully can't move, can't walk, they decide that it's time to sacrifice him. So they take him to the Pigeon River, the edge of the Pigeon River. They tie him to a stake, and they burn him. And they sacrifice him to Satan. And after that, they leave a slew of evidence, gas cans and stuff like that. The FBI gets involved, the sheriff, they all know it's them, so they ram the gates of the compound, arrest everybody, take Riley into custody. The lower ranking members of the Slasher Club all face numerous charges, anywhere from racketeering to money laundering to kidnapping and extortion, and all the way up until murder. And they basically, those lower guys get jail time. Well, his top 4 ranking members that are below Riley in the Slasher Club, they choose to get executed. So they face the firing squad. Well, the mayor, who had a brother that was a judge, actually officiates this, and he decides to throw the book at Riley and gives him the chair. And so the whole murder trial goes on for a year of trying to tie it up in litigations. And anyway, they decide that it's time for him to go. So on December 24th, 2020, they decide to execute him, which on December 24th of 2020 is when the movie starts to take place. He gets picked up for a prisoner transport from the Clintonville Asylum and is transferred to the death house to be executed on that day. Well, he ends up escaping, and Riley sees it as a sign from Satan to keep going, and every person that's in front of him, he just viciously murders. So that's what the story entails, and that's going to be a lot of fun to shoot. There is a couple of, I am planning on doing a backstory, another movie, if this one works out. backstory, or maybe even a book. That would be a cool idea too, is doing a short story of his entire life. That would be fun too. Not really sure how that's going to interpret out. I hope it works out. The movie sounds fun. I'm going to hopefully have it done and be able to drop it on Christmas Eve this year. That's where I'm shooting for. I hope it works out. So yeah, that's the backstory to my movie. A couple of shout outs. I want to shout out my good buddy, Nathan Bazad. He's the one that made some of the music for the movie. It sounds super awesome. And during the movie, you'll hear a lot of different tones, and he sets the entire tone for the movie. He's on Facebook, or he's on YouTube, Your Dark Nate. So please like and subscribe and go follow him. And another guy that I really, really like, this guy is hasn't done anything to do with the movie, but he's a good buddy of mine. He's also on YouTube, Art with Horror. And the reason I love his content, he does a lot of cool movie tutorials, a lot of cool vlogs. He did an 31-day vlog for the entire month of October, all different kinds of horror movies. It's really fun. He's a really cool guy. You guys should go check him out. Art with Horror. He's on Instagram. He's on YouTube. Go check him out. Give him a like. Tell him I said hi. He's actually the reason that I started doing this. I've always wanted to shoot an internet show, and I kind of didn't know how to do it. And I was watching one of his videos, and he said, just jump in feet first. And so that's basically what I'm doing. He's the reason that I started doing this. So Art, you're a good guy, and I hope one day you and I can sit on this couch and have a beer and talk about horror. That would be a lot of fun. So yeah, go check him out. Do it. I said it, so do it. I guess that's it. I had a trivia game, but there's nobody here to play with it because I'm completely alone, just talking to myself. So, at least I got a beer. And I don't know how to fucking drink. So, next week I'll learn how to drink a beer. Tune in next time. I'm going to try to have some of the cast members be here. That would be so much fun. I think after the movie is done, I'm going to have a full cast member couch sit, and I'm going to do a whole show with them and do horror movie trivia and get them super drunk. That would be fun. But tune in next week. Next week, my band will be here, Frankenhooker, and we're going to do some songs. Also, Blast from the Past, Jason Rothy said that he wanted to be on the show, so I think he's going to come and play some Annie Wilkes stuff with us, and we're going to talk 80s slashers movies. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Thanks for tuning into the Slasher Hour. Unfortunately, Darkman wasn't here tonight. He's here in spirit. I'm drinking a beer for him. I hope his pregnancy goes really well. Until next time, I'm Lurch. That's Darkman. You've been slashed. Cheers.